Welcome to the bottom, oh my God, I can't even talk tonight. The Bottom Line Live. I'm so excited that you're all here. And I wanted to tell you guys all about how you can save time with bookkeeping. So I know that bookkeeping is not necessarily everyone's favorite subject. It definitely is mine. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of things that I like talking about as well, like pizza, quesadillas, all the things that I'm not eating right now. But bookkeeping is a subject that I know a lot about and I can talk a lot about. I'm actually making a bookkeeping class right now for people who want to learn bookkeeping, so that'll be available at some point soon. In the meantime, let me share this. Share this to Wealth Dynamics because that is where it goes. Bottom Line Live. All right, good. And then Jerry or Nano will approve it on there so everyone can see me. Tonight, we're going to talk about how to save time with bookkeeping. If you read my little promo, then you'll know this is a subject that I get asked a lot about. Business owners, you guys, business owners, entrepreneurs, you guys started your companies so that you could do what you loved or make a lot of money or whatever you started your company for. It usually wasn't to sit down and do a bunch of bookkeeping and deal with the IRS and payroll taxes and things like that. And it takes a lot of time, you know, especially if you are not trained on it. You know, something that might take you 3 days to figure out almost all of your time and attention on would probably take my team a few hours. So that's why I wanted to really break this down and answer this question and talk about all the different ways that having a bookkeeping team can actually save you time. Because it's just a question I get asked a lot. Like, is this going to save me time? Is it going to save me money? Like, you know, what are the different things? So I know that bookkeeping can take a long time. I know that it can take a lot of your attention, and that's why I'm here. You know, I've said this a lot of times, but my mission statement for my company is complete and perfect financial records for your peace of mind. And that's really what I'm here to do, is give you guys peace of mind. It's not just about paperwork. It's about peace of mind. You know, people come to me stressed out about bookkeeping, about taxes, about payroll, about 1099s, and I give them peace of mind because I go, you know what? I got you. We can handle this for you. So what are the different ways that it really saves you time? So, okay. There's lots of different places that people are with their companies. I have companies of all different sizes reaching out to me. I have companies that just started. They're at 100,000, you know, revenue. They're at 25,000 revenue, or they just started and they're just about to like launch their company. So I have those guys reaching out to me all the way to companies that are at tens of millions and need, you know, probably a whole in-house team, as well as someone to oversee and look at everything that they're doing and make sure that it's right, as well as a CPA. So there's all different sizes of companies. They all need help. Let's say, hey, Lexi, join me. Look at my camera's still pink, but at least you can see me. We got a new camera because computer cameras are not good enough, but I'm kind of pink. So let's say you just started your company, right? What are you going to do for bookkeeping that's going to actually save you time? Because maybe you can't afford for someone else to do it yet, but how is it going to save you time to have bookkeeping? Look at it this way. If you don't do bookkeeping as it happens, you're not going to remember what happened, and you're going to lose deductions potentially, and you're definitely going to lose time. So let's say you start your company, you don't do any of the basic actions that let's say talked about last week as far as what you should do when you start your company. And now you get to the end of the year and someone says, hey, did you file your taxes yet? And you go, oh yeah, taxes. So now you gather all of your paperwork. You take 3 days with a shoebox full of receipts and bank statements, and you figure it all out, and you try to see if you can figure out what you spent money on, so you can give something to the person that's going to do your taxes, a tax preparer, a CPA, so that you can file your taxes. Okay, so now you're spending, and guys, anybody who's a business owner has told me this, you're spending hours, days, valuable time that you have that you could be making tens of thousands of dollars potentially in that time, and you're racking your brain trying to figure out what you spent money on so you get your tax deductions. You're gonna 99% likely you're gonna lose tax deductions, and you're gonna lose a ton of time. Now, what should you do if you're in that situation, or you just started your company, you don't have money to hire a bookkeeping team yet or a bookkeeper? Take 20 minutes a day, take a half hour a day and keep track, or even a week, take an hour a week, have 1 day a week that you sit down and you just do some bookkeeping, and you go through it, you write down what those transactions were for. What was the $200 that you took out of the ATM? Were you taking a client out to dinner? Did you need cash to pay your rent? I don't know. I mean, okay, whose rent is $200? Nobody's. But you know what I mean? In 3 months, you're not going to remember. Guaranteed, you're not going to remember, because it's $200 from the ATM, or it's $20 from the ATM. So go through and do that as you're going, and that will actually save you time in the future. Now, and we're talking about a new company here. So what software should you use? If you're not, like, let's say you're making below 100,000 because you just started, there's there's software called Taxkeeper. There's another one called Tax Hurdler. If you're a Wealth Dynamics client and you have a Mint Builder membership, you actually get Tax Hurdler for free with that. And if none of those are simple enough for you, keep an Excel spreadsheet. I'm not even kidding. It will save you time in the future. Okay. So let's say you're graduated from that. And also too, guys, if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing because you just started, reach out to me. I will do a consultation, and I will tell you what are the key things that you need to track, and I will teach you how to track them. So just to throw that out there. Okay, let's say you've graduated from that, you're making over 100,000, 150,000, you're ready to hire someone to do your books. So what do you need to know? How do you find a good bookkeeper? Well, it's hard because you don't know bookkeeping, so how are you supposed to know if they're doing a good job? But one thing to really look for is good communication. If somebody isn't doing a good job, they also are likely to not want to communicate about it. If they're not actually doing your bookkeeping, when they were supposed to, you're not going to get reports. If they are stealing money from you, which happens, unfortunately, I hear about it all the time, they're probably not going to have good communication, and they're not going to send you reports. So that is probably, as a person who's not in the bookkeeping or tax field, that is your best way to see if it's a good bookkeeper. Do they have good communication? Are they sending you reports? Does your profit and loss and balance sheet make sense? If it doesn't make sense to you, that doesn't mean that it's wrong, because you might not understand it. So schedule a meeting with them, have them go over it with you, have them explain anything that you don't understand, get it to where you understand it. If you have those 3 things, like reports, communication, and understanding of your reports, then you should be okay. That's your best ways to know if they're a good bookkeeper. Now, how are you going to save time? Of course, having somebody else do your books is going to save you time, but how are you going to save time within that relationship? Because we're not mind readers. You have to tell us things. So here's how you're going to save time. When your bookkeeper asks you questions, reply as fast as you can. The more history that we have in your books, the easier and faster it's going to be to do your bookkeeping. Let's say you know that whenever you buy something on your business account from Amazon, it's always office supplies. Then you just tell your bookkeeper that, so they don't have to ask you what you bought every time you go to Amazon or you buy something on Amazon. Or give them a login to your Amazon so they can see what you bought and they can categorize it correctly. A lot of communication will make these things go faster for you. So just keep that in mind. Now, one thing I get asked about a lot is receipts. So yes, if you are saying that this purchase was for a business purpose and you're deducting it on your taxes, you do need to keep the receipt. Should you scan it in or should you just keep it? Okay, so now it's totally up to you. If you feel you're responsible enough that you're going to keep all your receipts and you're not going to lose any or forget any, then just keep them in a box, or not a box. I hate boxes. Take that back, scratch that, rewind, in a folder or an envelope. Have an envelope, one of those big manila envelopes marked 2022, and put all business receipts in it and just keep it, because you don't need to do anything with them except if the IRS were to ever ask you to prove your deductions, you need to have those receipts. So keep them. What are other ways if you feel like you might not do it right, or you're not really sure, or you want a digital copy? The QuickBooks Online app on your phone, you can take a picture of it and it goes right into your books, and then your bookkeeper or you can attach it to the transaction. That's a really good way to keep receipts. If you're worried about losing the receipt, you're worried about it fading, you're not sure, and if you want, you can have your bookkeeper let you know if they're missing any receipts and make sure that you give them all to them. We generally don't do that because it's added time. And as long as you know that you have all your receipts, then you're fine. Unless you ever get audited, you're okay, but you need to make sure you have them legally. You do need the receipts. So that's something that people ask me about all the time. Is there a good software to keep track of receipts? Yes. Your QuickBooks Online app directly keeps receipts. You can take a picture of it, you can scan it, you can attach it, but the easiest way is just to take a picture with the app, and then you have it. So that's one thing that I get asked about a lot, and it can take a lot of time. People, searching receipts or trying to figure out what to do with the receipts. Either put them in an envelope labeled the year you're in, and never look at it again unless you get audited, or take a picture of each one and in your QuickBooks Online app, so it's automatically attached. Also, if you have a contracting company, like construction company or something like that, or if you are a business owner and you take clients out to dinner, you can literally write on the receipt, and you should, which client it's for. So that way, if you did ever get audited, it's very clear. And when you send the receipt, if you're taking a picture in the app, your bookkeeper won't have to ask you, because they'll know which client it's for. You can run a report, a profit and loss by client, or if the IRS wants to know who's all these dinners for, which client, which potential client, etc. it's for. So that's very important to keep track of. All right, let me look at my notes here. What else did I want to tell you guys? Yeah, I kind of went over a lot of these things. Okay, basic vital actions and habits. So 1, keep your receipts. 2, do your bookkeeping right away. If you are doing it or someone else is doing it, keep on top of it. So, we have clients that we do weekly, we have clients we do monthly, we have clients we do quarterly. Some of the smaller ones we do quarterly. Definitely quarterly is harder, but at least keep track and keep receipts so that when we do ask you, what was that $20 for at the ATM? You know the answer. Now, one thing that actually will save you a lot of time and heartache is don't take money out of the ATM. Cash is really hard to track. And then we need receipts for the cash to know what you spent it on. We need to know what you spent it on. So just use your debit card and write checks. And that will save you time and brain power of trying to remember what you spent that $20 on. I think Seaburn is not here watching right now, but if he was, he would agree with me. Don't use cash as much as possible, because how are you going to remember? And when you're a business owner and you have a fast-paced lifestyle and you're constantly moving things around and moving money around, cash is real hard to keep track of. So just use your debit card for your business account, use a credit card for your business credit card, or use checks. Ah, look, Seaburn is here. I said his name and he appears. Seaburn agrees with me. Never use cash. Okay, great. So the other thing that I would want to talk about here is all these different Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Those are another thing that a lot of business owners use because they're really easy to use, but they don't have good record keeping. So just so you guys know, when you pay someone through Venmo, and most of the time when I see this happen, it's business owners using their personal Venmo account or Cash App or PayPal. They're not using a business Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo account, right? So when you pay someone through Venmo, do you know what it says on your bank account? It says Venmo. And then Seaburn says, I finally realized that when I don't use cash, I think he means transaction is usually saved as an expense, which is a write-off. Exactly. As opposed to when you use cash and you go, yeah, I don't remember what that $20 is for. I don't remember what that $200 for. And if you don't remember, then it's usually going to get marked as a personal expense because you can't prove that it was business and you don't have a receipt. So exactly. When I use cash, it's gone. I don't know how, but it's just gone. Exactly. 100%. And this is not just a Seaburn truth. This is a truth for every company that I've ever done bookkeeping for. When you have cash, you don't remember what it's for. It's just gone. So unless you're keeping cash under your pillow for, the zombie apocalypse, use your debit card or your credit card for your business. But okay, so back to this. So when you use Venmo, it literally says Venmo. We don't know what it was for. It says the date and the amount as well, but we don't know whether you're paying your mom money because she bought something for you, that you used your, that you took the money out of your business account on accident, or you paid a contractor. So I would recommend not using Venmo. Same thing on Cash App. Cash App is a little bit better. Cash App will say Cash App, Sally Sue. So at least there's a name, but even still, sometimes it just says the first name. Sometimes it doesn't say any name. And PayPal is the same thing. It's very hit or miss whether it has any information. Are you going to remember what $3.99 was on PayPal from 3 weeks ago? Maybe, maybe not. And maybe $3.99 is not a lot of money, but it adds up. So I personally recommend not using those apps. I know they sometimes make for a much easier payment when you're paying contractors or when you're paying your mom back for something that she bought for you. But what you should do is use your Zelle from your bank account. It'll say Zelle, it'll say the person's name, it counts. It's a much cleaner transaction, or do an ACH transaction either out of QuickBooks, which you can use QuickBooks Melio for that, or you can do it straight out of your bank. It also really helps, guys, for when you're doing the 1099s at the end of the year. If you have a bunch of transactions that just say Venmo, we don't know whether it's a contractor that needs a 1099. If it just says PayPal, we don't know if it's a contractor that needs a 1099, and their 1099s might be wrong. So I would avoid those, use Zelle from your bank account, write a check from your business bank account, send an ACH, but as much as possible, they're not even set up for business. They're usually your personal Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal, right? So avoid those as much as possible to save yourself time in the future. So those are systems I would avoid. Systems to use, like I said, bill pay out of QuickBooks, out of your bank account. Bill pay in QuickBooks is called Melio. It's a great system. I use it all the time. You can send Zelle from your bank account, or you can just, if you're paying a company, they might accept credit card. If you're using your business credit card and you're getting miles and stuff out of it, great. But either way, just use a business payment system and not a personal payment system, not Cash App, not Venmo, not PayPal. Okay, good. Then that's one of the things that's going to save you money. Okay, what else? Sorry, save you time and money. Save you time and money. what else are things that you should do as a business owner to save you time and money for your bookkeeping? Okay, so we talked about doing your bookkeeping. If you're doing it yourself, doing it every day, every week. If you have a bookkeeper, making sure that you have good communication with them. We talked about having receipts, either keeping them in an envelope or taking a picture with your QuickBooks app to keep them, writing on your receipts. If you're taking someone out to dinner, if you're a contractor, you need to know which client it was for, write it on the receipt, take a picture of it to scan it in. What are the other things that are going to save you time and money? Okay, so if you are an S Corp owner or an LLC taxed as an S Corp, which a lot of my clients are, so that means, and I have a large, cross section of society, of business owners, so that means a lot of you guys are, make sure your payroll is set up. How is this going to save you time and money? Okay, so first of all, S Corp owners or LLCs taxed as an S Corp have to be on payroll as a business owner, whether you're the only member, the only employee, or whether you're the business owner and you have employees, you have to be on payroll as a business owner. Good, now you set your payroll up, it doesn't matter, it can be once a week, every other week, once a month, whatever you want it to be. Seaburn says, best time and money saver, hire an accountant. Yeah, and I think you also mean a bookkeeper, hire a bookkeeper. They're not always the same person. Technically, an accountant has to have an accounting degree. I do not have an accounting degree, but I've been doing bookkeeping almost 20 years. So, yeah, really good point. Don't try to do your bookkeeping yourself. Save yourself time and hire someone. But I'm trying to give you tips, even if you have a bookkeeper, what are ways to save you time and money? All right, so payroll, get yourself on payroll. How does this save you time and money? So first of all, have you ever tried to figure out all the paperwork and documents you need for your taxes, and your CPA or your tax preparer is asking you 10 million questions that you don't know the answers to, and you don't even know what he's talking about because he says weird codes and numbers and 941 and Schedule C and 1099, and these are all things that you don't know anything about, and they're just different tax forms, right? So if you have your payroll set up correctly, when your CPA asks for those documents, you will have them. You won't have to, and guys, let me tell you, to do a payroll, set up a payroll, yes, it's a pain in the ass. You have to, register with the state and federal, and there's paperwork to do, but once it's going, it's real simple. To go, if you haven't done a payroll for the whole year and now it's in the next year and you have to file a manual amendment to your payroll, that takes a lot longer. Everything on bookkeeping and payroll and taxes is fast and relatively guys, easy if you do it right the first time. If you don't do it right the first time and you just wait till much later and try to remember and try to figure it out and try to go back and fix it, it can take 3 to 10 times as long and cost you 3 to 10 times the amount of money because you're paying someone to go back and fix shit, and it's annoying, right? It sucks for everyone. So I recommend doing it right the first time. So make sure if you're a business owner, you're an LLC, if your tax is an S Corp, you're on payroll, your employees are on payroll. Here's another thing. If you have contractors that work for you, make sure you get a W-9. I recommend putting in a policy that you get a W-9 from them before you pay them. I just recently got a new client. He hadn't filed his 1099s for the year before. I went through and made a list. I haven't talked about 1099s very much in a few months, but I'll talk about them again soon. I went through and made a list of all the contractors that looked like they needed 1099s, and we didn't have W-9s. Or a W-9 is a tax form that shows you the name, address, and the tax ID, right? That's really all you need. So we didn't have W-9s or the tax ID and address for most of them. So now he's got to go collect W-9s. Do these people still work for him? I don't know. Does he have a way to contact them? I don't know. So if you guys get a W-9 filled out by the contractor before you pay them, It's going to make it way easier in January when you either have to hire someone to help you with 1099s or you're doing the 1099s yourself. So the way to save time and money is do it right in the first place. If you don't know how to do it right, reach out to me, reach out to your bookkeeper, your CPA, ask them for advice. Like I've said, you know, I do consultations. I help people. Just today, I did a consultation with someone who we did an S-Corp election for, and now we're setting up his payroll, but he didn't have, you know, it organized enough to do it earlier. So now we have to do a payroll amendment, a manual payroll for 2021 before he can file his taxes. So that's the thing, things have to be done in order, right? You can't file your taxes at the end of the year until the payroll is done. And if you're doing it, you know, every week, every month, whatever, then you're going to be under control. But if you're not doing it and you're trying to do a one-time payroll or a payroll amendment at the end of the year, that all has to get done before you can file your taxes. So keep that in mind when you're trying to save time and money. What's the best way to save penalties and interest on taxes is to pay them on time. The best way to pay them on time is do all the prior steps that you need to do in order to do that. So I think I've told you guys most of my secrets at this point. I know they're pretty much just common sense and logic. Do it fast, do it right, do it on time. But honestly, I think we all need that reminder sometimes that the best way to do it right is to do it right in the first place. Okay, if you have any questions, if you want to reach out to me, you can comment on this video, you can send me a message on Facebook, you can email me, Maya@solvencynow.com. You can go on my website, solvencynow.com. You can probably send a smoke signal and I will reach out to you. We just hired a couple of new bookkeepers. I'm probably hiring another one. So we are accepting new clients. I mean, we're always accepting new clients, but if you need any help, we do have time to help you. And guys, now is the time to get organized, because I know it was January 2 seconds ago, but we're mid-May right now. We're halfway through the year. So now is the time to get organized so you're ready for next year. You're ready for taxes. If you haven't filed your taxes for 2021 because you filed an extension, now is the time to do it. If you come to me on September 1st, it probably won't get done on time because there'll be all the other people who came to me first on, you know, August 25th. So now's the time to do it. If you need any help, whether you just started, whether you feel like you have it under control and you want to review it, reach out. We can help you. I'm here to help. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Okay, good. Well, thank you so much all for watching. And thank you all that are watching on YouTube, or you're watching this later. You can join me next week, same time, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here, Facebook Live, Wealth Dynamics Group, or my Facebook page. And it's The Bottom Line Live. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.